This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Beamer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Comfort Fit Dentures. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
Very good evening, and thank you for joining us here at Snowflake High School, where the Lobos are back now with a 3-0 record, having successfully gone on the road for the second time this season, having knocked off Bradshaw Mountain in a surprisingly tight ball game, as I'm joined by both of our state champions here, Mike Rogan and Kay Solomon. As Coach, you weren't with us, so you kind of watched that one from a distance. What was the takeaway from the struggles that the Lobos had against Bradshaw?
Well, a tight ball game. I would take away the word surprisingly. We've played Bradshaw 4 times since we moved up to 4A. 3 times on their field, which I don't know how that math works out, but and all 3 times that we've played over there have been a struggle. 1 loss and 2 tight wins over there. Last year we opened with them here on our home field, and it wasn't even much of a ball game. So when we got moved to 4A, that was one of my very first desires that I expressed to Kevin Stanifer here at the high school. I did not want the Grand Canyon region, and it was mostly because of those Prescott trips. We've never traveled well to Prescott. We just don't have a big following in those areas either. But I knew those Prescott trips are taxing. They're a little bit tough, and they have been. They've proven to be every time we played over at Bradshaw.
I think the reason why I say it was surprising is because you saw the ALA West Foothills game when it seemed as if that was going to be the best combination of size and speed that Snowflake would play. But you go down to Bradshaw Mountain, they looked just as big, maybe even quicker. And Snowflake seemed as if it had a little bit of a hard time, especially running the football against that. Is there any cause for concern there?
Yeah, well, yes. I mean, our line is still our line. You know, we know we're a little bit smaller on our up front this year, especially that offensive line. They definitely showed up and played well against the ALA West Foothills. Coach Young and Bradshaw Mountain, they're a tough football team. You know, I put them right in the category with Coconino. In fact, Bradshaw's usually been winning that region over Coconino and the other Grand Canyon region schools. And part of that, Coach Young has tough kids. They play good, hard-nosed football, and you saw that last week. I saw that from a distance last week in your broadcast.
As we were talking about the offensive line, it's a perfect segue over to the Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo. Brogan, you were there. Is that the biggest key as we're now getting ready to watch these Lobos take on a Catalina Foothills team that, again, might be surprising? 2-1, knocked off Ironwood Ridge, and you were describing the Pusch Ridge outcome as a bit surprising.
Yeah, surprising maybe. Not that Pusch Ridge necessarily won, but that score wasn't indicative of how competitive the football game was. Yeah, they Cat Foothills had gone down inside the Pusch Ridge 25, I think, the first 2 possessions and turned the ball over. So you get out to that kind of rough spot or rough start, it's awfully tough to come back. So I was surprised. Cat Foothills hasn't been, the strongest of the teams from Tucson the last probably 5 or 10 years, and so you kind of come in with these kind of ideas that you've developed over the 5 or 10 years. They're definitely better than what they've been in the past from watching that film, and so kind of excited to see what we get tonight. They throw the ball all over the field. I'll bet at least in the 2 games that I watched, they probably throw it twice as much as they run it, and so it'll be kind of fun to see a little different style of play than what we're normal.
The Lobo defense is coming off of the most balanced offensive attack that they had to try to defend. Coach Solomon, how are they going to try to make sure that they're able to slow the aerial assault for this Catalina Foothills team?
Well, I look forward to seeing this secondary tested. We've been seeing Gian Jones with a couple of picks, I think, on the season. Almost said Carter Rabin, but his younger brother Mason at the other corner, and then Coulter Willis back playing safety. It's a good secondary that the Lobos have, and I think it'll be good to see them tested a little bit. And the Lobo defensive line, turning up that pass rush maybe just a little bit more to try to put some pressure on that quarterback to help out with that too.
Those are the Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Overgard, and Show Low. Also got to make mention of the Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Don't know if anybody is necessarily out, especially from Snowflake's side, but it seemed as if our post-game conversation with Coach Reddick is that there are some players banged up. And again, you talk about the reputation that the Falcons are bringing down here, that this, when the season started, you look at this, maybe 3 games, tough ones, going to be able to maybe use this as kind of a get-well game, but is that necessarily the case right now?
Well, I don't know if you can ever go into a game as a coach with that mindset. If you do, it's kind of tough, but certainly that might be the kids' kind of idea coming into it, but certainly the coaching staff is not going to feel that way.
Getting ready here for the Lobos and Catalina Foothills. We got more after this in Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
Getting ready for Snowflake playing host to Catalina Foothills, as this is the Patriotic game, as there's a giant rodeo American flag behind the goalpost where the Lobos are now running out. Everybody's got an American flag. Everybody is, all of the branches of the armed services are being commemorated, as the Lobos were on the road last week when so often thoughts go to the servicemen and women in uniform. That, of course, roughly around the anniversary of 9/11, so it's really neat to see this sort of exhibition.
Always an exciting night and a chance to honor our, all of our service people and our first responders as well, and especially here in the White Mountain area, our hearts go out to our Timber Mesa family this week in the loss of 2 of theirs from an accident this week. So.
Absolutely. And the Lobos wearing their grays. This is the home uniform that comes closest to September 11th. Is that correct, or am I misremembering, misunderstanding, or is that?
Yeah, this we actually had a special black uniform that was made a few years ago. We haven't used those in a couple of years. We were told 2 years ago that the jerseys are actually illegal based on some changes the AIA's made. But these gray uniforms were new last year, and we really like them, and they do fit the occasion well.
The black uniforms are illegal because the AA doesn't like people looking cool?
There's some kind of print up on the numbers in the back that they wouldn't allow anymore.
Well, that's funny because last week I couldn't read one number off Bradshaw Mountain's, red on black uniforms. So, thank you for working that out, AIA.
No, and you get the uniform section of the AIA rules manual is as thick as any of the other pieces of the officiating manuals. It's kind of ridiculous, but what are you going to do, right? I know they do everything in basketball, from monitoring socks and undershirts and armbands and colors and all of that type of stuff. It's a little bit nonsensical, but it is what it is, I guess.
It is.
So.
But I like the look tonight with the gray, all gray, and the chrome helmets look nice.
As you see the toss going on, Catalina Foothills is wearing blue hats, white tops, looks like maybe a slate pant, maybe black. So the Lobos win the toss and will again defer. That's been something that's been going on the last few weeks and has been serving well.
Straight? Have we won the toss all 4 weeks and deferred
definitely
all 4
the last
weeks?
3.
That's a little bit of a change. We used to always, maybe that's Coach Reddick as a head coach, because when he was just the offensive coordinator, he wanted the ball every time.
That's right. You've got to work out those knots in your stomach earlier, right?
Putting a little more pressure on Coach Smith's shoulders maybe there.
Yeah, that's right.
So 3-0 Lobos getting ready to tee it up here while playing host to the 2-1 Falcons. A huge game from both sides. I find it interesting, even though this early in the season rankings mean very little. In a couple of weeks they'll mean quite a bit more, but Snowflake cracking the top 30 in Max Prep's formula. Catalina Foothills not quite there, but the Lobos getting an awful lot of love, and I think the ALA West Foothills upset of Micah Mountain probably went an awful long way to doing that. That's going to look awfully sharp come November.
We talked a little bit about last year, and that we knew we had the need to win all of our games based on what we perceived to be our strength of schedule. I don't think that's going to be as big of an issue this year. I think our strength of schedule is going to help us. Obviously we want to win all our games, but our strength of schedule is going to be right where we need it to be for hopefully a top 1 or 2 seed.
Well, and those max preps are pretty good indicators coming out for this season. I think the difference in the AIA formula max preps is victory margins. So,
short kick, angling out of bounds, not the start that the Lobos were looking for, as it'll be good field position for the Falcons, who are bringing Isaac Kirkendall to come off the sideline and start operating this offense that, watching them warm up, looked as if they really wanted to spread things out wide, give the Lobos secondary an awful lot to think about. The Lobos defense thus far has been very, very good.
Yeah, not sure if they had something drawn up and designed for that opening kickoff, but for some reason McCoy put that over off the sideline, on the visitor sideline over there.
Khalil Assam is going to be in the backfield, standing to the right of Kirkendall. Man coming in motion left to right with a give goes to Assam. He's going to try the right side and gets immediately dumped. That's Nichols there on the stop.
Yep. Again, it's just interior line doing a pretty good job for Snowflake, eating up the blockers there, allowing those linebackers to come and fill and make the tackles. Everybody doing their job early.
So 2nd down and long, 2nd and 9. As a deliberate move to the line of scrimmage for the Falcons, and 4 receivers out, 2 on either side. Pistol formation with Azam deep. Kirkendall lunges for that shotgun snap, and already has that one picked up. Instead, it's had at the 45 and down the far sideline and into Snowflake territory. Nearly with the jump on that one and almost a pick 6, but instead it's going to be a long run out of bounds.
Yeah, Jackson Merrill had a good break on that ball, and if he didn't touch it, he was very close to getting a finger or 2 on that and deflecting it.
Out to the Snowflake 42. 26 yards on the first completion, and now a flag comes out.
Yeah, football's a game of inches, right? And, 6 inches the other way, and that's a touchdown for Snowflake. And I sure like the aggressiveness and, the attempt to make a play there.
Well, and give credit that the quarterback for Catalina Foothills threw a good ball, out of the reach of Jackson, who, like I said, got a pretty good break there.
Now a couple of players jump up. As this is anybody's guess.
Offense first, I'm guessing.
And judging by the tight end grabbing his helmet, he's taking the blame. It'll make it easy for Quentin to make that call coming in. I had a good referee tell me one of the best traits for an official is just to be a little patient. The kids will give you a clue if you're not quite sure.
See their reaction.
Just look at their reaction, yeah.
That's probably good advice.
Check.
All right, another run after the 2 penalties moved Catalina Foothills back 10 yards as it was 1st and 20, and that was for no gain. So back into Catalina Foothills territory.
We've mentioned the defensive line eating up blocks, but Jose decided on that one he's going to just take care of business himself up front there. Did a nice job of shedding a block and making a tackle.
2nd and 19, 1-yard gain. Again, 2 receivers on either side. Drop back there as this one's flipped over the top, looking in the flat where Cartwright was open, but a little bit of a quick and high release there from Kirkendall.
If that he had him open out in the flat there, I don't know if that linebacker got a little deep in his drop, and they would have certainly been able to cut this to-go yards in half if they'd have completed that thing. But
this is Sholo Ford's presentation. You're listening to High School Football presented by Sholo Ford on iTalk 106.7 FFM, KNKI Pine Top Sholo, and on 102.5 Pine Top. A Kopaniki Communication Station is now running for his life. Kirkendall throws this one toward the near sideline and underthrown with Rabin there lurking to nearly have that one picked off. The Lobos about a combined foot away from a couple of interceptions. That comes on 3rd and 19.
Well, as predicted, they're coming out wanting to throw the ball, spread it around a little bit, and the Lobos holding up pretty well. They probably a missed assignment on that last play with the back coming out of the backfield, but looking pretty solid so far on defense.
Got a late entry coming off the sideline. I still don't think the Falcons have enough men out there as another one is coming out, and now Catalina Foothills on 4th and 19 is going to take a timeout. 9:33 to go first quarter. The Lobos gave up a 26-yard pass play and a first down, but got strong after that and are waiting for a punt. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Mountain Care of Snowflake and our radio sponsor.
All right,
iTalk 106.7
back to receive.
iTalk 106.7.
Willis and Smith, as there's a good snap, kick is away, it's low and short. Running up and taking it to the 22 is Smith. Runs into Willis as he bounces out to the left side. He's over the 30 and the 40, and then out at the 45 where he's still on his feet near midfield.
By Christian Smith.
Not out of bounds.
It's all the way to the
he got
47
foot or two out of bounds, but there was no
field.
whistle, so I guess everybody just kept playing.
Still letting it go.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a flag back at the 36.
And it's holding on the receiving team.
Snowflake busted for a hold. Kind of had a weird collision between Smith and Willis. And Willis was standing behind another couple of blockers, so there's an awful lot of stuff going on around there. So it'll move him back to the 26. Still not bad field position for Snowflake. As LeDuc is coming out for the first time. It's been LeDuc and Green who've been combining for almost every snap thus far in the backfield. And now hold up, now switching the balls. But Green had a very tough row last week, in large part because they just didn't have an awful lot of stuff to run through. It seemed like it was more of a credit of Bradshaw Mountain's front seven than anything, as he's right now sitting on LeDuc's right. So going to flip this one over to Willis, who's trying to stretch this one out and get the edge, but he's going to be brought down by his shirt collar. Back of the line of scrimmage, it'll be a loss of 1.
Yeah, I had Green blocking the edge defender out. It looked like he should have probably cut right up inside that, but it's easy to see from up here, and he's got a split-second decision to make. I would expect the Lobos to try and really establish that run game tonight after the struggles last week, trying to make sure that they're solid there with Brenner, and here we saw a fly sweep look from him right out of the gate.
Get an appreciation for exactly how big that Bradshaw Mountain front was looking at these Falcons. As here's a straight give to Green, but as soon as I say it, blasting in and stopping Green. Well, he got him at the line of scrimmage, but a fight for about 3 yards will make it 3rd and long still.
And again, the Falcons front line just doing a pretty good job holding their ground and getting to Green before he can get that head of steam up.
Snowflake against ALA West Foothills had a linebacker that was spending an awful lot of time firing through gaps and getting into the backfield. See who is doing this here for the Falcons if they continue. Might be Assis. I beg your pardon, Assam, as now flags come out. And the Lobos
looking a little disjointed there. They were trying to move a tight end over to the other side, and
sure think that was looking like a run if that lineman's going forward right on that false start, but
he was ready to go.
He was ready to fire off. See if they're going to run the same thing here.
Pistol formation as they fake to Green. Come to the near side where LeDuc is under pressure. He gets this one up and intercepted at the 45. Stepped out of bounds, I believe, and they're forced out of bounds by Jones. But there with the pick for the Falcons is Alu Morong.
It was a really good play on the football. It almost had looked like that Jacob was kind of overthrown everybody and that ball was just being thrown away. But is it Moron? I want to say that correctly.
Morong, I guess. M-A-R-O-N-G.
He made a really good play on the football there. It just backpedaled 2 or 3 steps and kind of high pointed it. So good athletic play.
So right back to where they were roughly after that big pass play. Snowflake 45, 7:31 to go first quarter. No score after each side has had the football. Got a very deep safety as Catalina Foothills breaks a huddle. Kirkendall, who's 1 for 3 for 26 yards, moves Assam over to his left. Low snap, he gives it to him as he comes to the right side, now cuts it up over the 40, brought down at the 35. As there's another big gain, I should say, on first down, takes it to the Snowflake 33 and a gain of 12.
Nice patience by that running back and good blocking up front. He cut right back in off from a puller coming down the line to block out, and both linebackers kind of overran that just a little bit and gave him a running lane going back to the middle.
7:10 to go in the first. No score, but the Falcons threatening. Little pressure shown off the right side of the offensive line from the shotgun. Turn and give Assam, goes up the middle and maybe a yard.
And they're doing a pretty good job. They have the field spread with their formations, and they always got three wideouts and 1 running back, and so it turns the game a little bit more man-on-man in the interior, and so everybody's really got to be really disciplined, do your job, and if not, you're going to open up some running lanes.
Some actually fell forward for a gain of 2. Long run off the sideline as coming in with the play and a lineup off the line as a tight end is Oscar Ramos. Instead, they're going to go in the other direction where a flag comes out after the pass is completed at the 25. It'd be short of a first down by about a yard, but this seems as if it was thrown in the neighborhood of a hold.
Yeah, and it looked like it was thrown in a hold on the right tackle, just gauging by the fact that he got hit by the flag.
He's over there trying to keep track of Ziggy Olberg. As we are now being told was some illegal contact to the head.
Hand to the face.
Hand to the face.
By the offense. That's often called on, you'll see that on defensive linemen called quite often, but got his hands up there in the wrong place, I guess.
Well, and this is kind of what happened to them on that last drive. They looked pretty good when they stay in the conventional, first, second downs. But once they get behind the chains, they kind of struggle last possession. But not only are they behind the chains, I mean, we're talking 25 plus.
Same situation after the first down on the first series. Now a handoff is going to have a big hole going right to left, over the 40 and down to the 35. Gets many of the yards that were just lost back, as that was Cartwright with his first carry.
It's a good job there, and you notice you see a lot of pulling linemen with Catalina Foothills, and good linebackers will read those pulling linemen. They'll take them to the ball a lot of the times. Nobody pulled that time, and that's sometimes that'll throw these linebackers off when there's no puller to read and find the ball.
3rd down and 12. The Snowflake 35. This comes after an interception on 3rd and long from the Lobos. Fake the handoff. Now that might be a live ball. No, there's a quick whistle after the pass was going forward by a whisker. It was intended for Casire.
Yeah, it may have been good for them that wasn't caught. Snowflake had that defended pretty well. Olberg was coming inside out, and it looked like I don't know who was the linebacker or the corner on this side was in a pretty good spot on that as well. So, oh my, we're going to see a 52-yard field goal?
I didn't see them while you were warming up. Did you happen to notice?
No, I didn't think the kicking game was that strong in the when I watched the film, but we only saw one kick. But obviously they got confidence in him.
Smith and Willis. Oh, that was a botched snap. Now they're going to try to throw this one away. That was probably the best decision there after a snap kind of rolled to the holder.
Watch the replay there. I think the holder might have been coming up even before that snap was bad. I think they might have had some kind of a fake on there to trying to get that first down.
I was about to say before that snap happened that it didn't seem like Willis and Smith were ready for a field goal. It looked like they were thinking that something was up. So after the interception, Snowflake actually winds up gaining 10 yards following giving up a big first down. Going to start this one on their own 35. Pistol formation again, turn, give, Green. Hesitates as he gets over the middle, now cuts it out to the left side at the 40, makes another guy miss at the 45, and is brought down at the 47, a 12-yard gain and a Snowflake first down.
Yeah, just really good back at that off-tackle run that they've had so much success with this year. And Green got to he pretty much came untouched through the line until he got up to about 8-9 yards downfield.
Something that we've become accustomed to seeing from Green. He had just such a tough time finding any space to run through a week ago, so nice to see him get going there with the big 12-yarder. Is now the Lobos trying to get into Catalina Foothills territory. No score, 4.5 minutes here in the first. Same formation, got 4 receivers out there, and another jumping offensive lineman. That's 4 false starts combined on these teams in week 4. Coach Solomon, it seems like that shouldn't happen at this point in the season, right?
Well, you know, whatever. If they threw a wrinkle or two in this week and somebody just didn't quite remember, you know, you kind of get other things going in your mind. As a former offensive lineman, I got a lot of mercy for those guys.
Moving back 5, 1st and 15. Rabin now in motion behind the line of scrimmage, and another flag comes out. I didn't see. Was that a receiver, maybe?
I saw Mr. Chavez Jr. kind of signaling. It looked like the center must have moved the ball, I think.
So again, five combined false starts. Move it back to the Snowflake 39. Continuing with that same formation, and again, Rabin in motion. Sets up now off the left side of the line. Shotgun snap, fake to Green, pass it out where it's caught at the 46.
I think that's Liam Brewer on that reception.
And a flag out late.
Yeah, he kind of gave him a little bit extra.
Brewer's still down.
Yeah, he's grabbing at his left leg right away on that as soon as he came down.
Hey, scoot back. Hey, go on that.
That is marked at the 44, so it would be a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, and just by looking at the officials' conversation there, it was more that he kind of pushed himself up off of the offensive player when he got
the official was standing right there. If there were any choice words exchanged, I'm pretty sure he was privy to all.
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called after the 5-yard gain. That was a Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Now that is not an automatic first down, is it?
No, I don't believe so.
No, and it should have been after the play, so it should be second down moving forward here, but probably going to be second and 2 or 3.
They walk off 15, now into Falcon territory for the first time are the Lobos. Second down and 1 from the Catalina Foothills 42-yard line. Going to the same formation in the pistol, and now a flag comes out as the pass is completed to Willis. Slips a tackle at the 40. He's got a first down, brought down at the 30, but let's see what this one is all about.
Yeah, that sure looks like a holding.
It was immediate, though.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he saw something alignment-wise.
Oh, no, yeah, all right. Yeah,
illegal
that's a good call,
shift.
Coach.
All right, explain that one.
I'm not sure what he saw, but that's an illegal shift, usually the signal that he made, and meaning that somebody either moved or was moving at the wrong time while the ball was being snapped.
Right, if you have two guys kind of go in motion, then you got to have them up both set for a second, right, I think is the idea behind that a lot of times.
And actually probably would have preferred to blow that play dead, but the ball had been snapped, so he wisely did let it go on and go. Don't want to get somebody hurt.
I didn't suspect that this was going to be a storyline here in the first quarter, but I think that's the 9th combined penalty flag. Is now Green bounces off a tackler, bounces now outside to the 40, and it has enough for a first down.
That's Brenner Green.
Again, they found something kind of off that left tackle spot, and another good 8 or 9 yard run there by Green. But it feels like all the mistakes are mental as well. There's been very few kind of physical, holds and things like that. It's a lot of what I would consider more focus issues.
No score, 3:27 first quarter. Snowflake now at the Catalina Foothills 40. Fake another handoff, and that's a dangerous pass that was leading Willis a little bit too far toward the defender, knocking that one down and making a good play on the ball is again Marong.
Yeah, I meant to comment on the previous one. They called it back, but it was a beautiful ball out to Coulter, and he made a great move after catching it to add some extra yards after that catch. But that one was that defender was spying that one all the way. Lucky we didn't see him going into that south end zone down there with that ball.
Makes it 2nd and 10. As you see the replay there, Marong breaking back and then quickly back to the ball as the Lobos now have Rabin split wide, moving behind the line of scrimmage right to left. Pistol with Green as they turn and give to him. Again, run into the left side, gets to the 35, has a convoy up front, gets over the 30, and still on his feet over the 25, approaching the 20.
And just off that left tackle again, and he runs so hard, right? He's not going to go down on first contact, and I think the defense thought they probably had him stopped, and he was kind of able to kind of hop and jump and pick up 5 more yards just out of effort.
Having grown up in a more urban area, I can guarantee you that these teams that are coming out of Phoenix and Tucson are probably a little bit surprised by the speed and punch that a lot of these Lobos are able to deliver at the skill positions. There's Green taking a couple of guys for a ride there as he's got it near the red zone. A little bit of pressure for Ledoux because he's trying to set up a screen, and it was blown up that time. There's some speed coming the other direction.
Yeah, if he can get that in Gion's hands, he had a little bit of room to run. But again, not poorly defended by Catalina Foothills on that play. Going back, you mentioned the speed and the punch, and Brenner definitely packs both. I don't know if it was a linebacker or a defensive lineman that thought he had a pretty good angle on him coming into the backfield, but then all of a sudden Brenner was gone on that previous play.
Second down 10, 2:43 after Green's 19-yard run, put it at the 21. There's no score. Lobos threatening now as Green's emptied out of the backfield. LeDuc now with the design run. He goes right up the middle. He's got some speed and punches. He's tough to bring down. It gets toward the 15, might have 5.
And that puts them in a pretty good spot here for third down. They can still run this ball if they want to, or if they got a pass play that they want to go to. I think that was kind of the idea behind that play call, was just to get something where you could make this third down a little easier.
It would be about a 34-yarder.
34, yeah, 35-ish from here.
Now they come out again with the pistol. Green, been the workhorse thus far, gets the call, starts running right, left, trucks over the 15. He's at the 10, he's at the 5, he's in the end zone for a, what was that, a 17-yard run?
Well, that was a heck of a run. I don't know if Eight's a safety or a linebacker, but he did a good job coming up and filling that hole. He got himself a little too up and down, though, to tackle a running back like Green. He's got no chance if you're going to try to get him up upper body.
Comfort Fit Denture touchdown, and after Green had such a tough week, now 59 yards on 5 carries.
That's probably more than he had all last week almost, if you take away the last touchdown that he made, right?
Here's Norton trying to make it 7-0, a high snap, and brought down and over a leaping defender. Able to put that one up and good. Minute 52 to go. First quarter, the Lobos strike first. 7-0 Snowflake leads. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. It's our hometown college. You'll pay the lowest tuition in the state, and you can pursue 4-year degrees in education and business as that one goes into the end zone. Touchback and a long field here for the Falcons, who find themselves trailing 7-0. Both of their possessions started with great first down plays and both design and yardage gained, and then the penalties happened.
Yeah, they've put themselves in really good positions early in both those drives, and then they've made some critical mistakes, both times with the hands to the face on the offensive lineman, then the back-to-back false starts, and they have not fared real well when they get into 1st and 20s and 25s.
Got 3 receivers bunched up off the right side of the line. Low snap. It was going to be brought back up and delivered. I believe that is Assam, and I believe he was stopped in the backfield.
Again, really good job, interior line. Everybody kind of holding their ground in there, and then I think you may have gotten 3 of the defensive linemen in on that tackle as well, so they did a really good job on that play.
Those first downs, I've noticed Willis playing really deep out of that free safety position. Now he's come up much closer, or at least closer than he was before. He's still a good 15 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and now looking away from him. And got a man that's got by his defender. That was Jones, who couldn't keep up. And running free for a moment was Mendato.
I don't know if they double moved him early, but he definitely had some separation and a pretty good ball. It was right on his hands, but great, thankfully wasn't able to pull that in.
That was actually Mendola. I can't read my writing.
Yeah, somehow Gian got caught letting that guy get a step on him, and that's not typical for Gian.
Yeah, I've been impressed. The quickness of the skill players for Catalina Foothills has been pretty good.
Empty backfield as Assam comes out, takes this one, and he heard some footsteps as that one was leading him right toward who was there on defense.
That was Hayden Nichols.
Yeah. He was coming in hot.
Flying out that way, and you say heard footsteps, but I think you could actually see the receiver's head turning a little bit as soon as that ball got within range of his hands.
First 3 and out here potentially for Snowflake with 1 minute and 3 seconds in the first quarter. Back inside their own territory by 5 yards. Willis and took a knee.
Oh, yep.
Oh, boy.
This may be where the dam's going to burst here.
Low snap, and going down to take it off of a knee is Jamison Leary, the punter. And he's marked down at the 6. You can see the replay here. Oh, almost.
Didn't quite have him in the frame, but that's a tough break for Catalina Foothills in that situation, you know.
Here you go. You can see it right there, and he had to go down and get it. And you could appreciate what he was thinking because there was already a pretty good push there from the Lobo front. So he was thinking, I got to make sure I get hands on this. Hands, then foot, or else it was going to be blocked.
Notice the first punt snap was kind of a floater headed back there, too. Keep an eye on that. That might be a factor more in this game, too.
So now 1st and goal after the turnover on downs. Green, who just had run one from 17 yards out, going to move over to LeDuc's left. Now coming in motion, Willis, as they'll fake the toss to him. LeDuc's going to go over the right side of the line. He's in the end zone. A Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
This is good to convert so quickly after that turnover. I mean, I guess it's technically a turnover on downs, but just a really nice play design. They've been running everything to the left. They bring Willis through to the left, and I'm sure that got the attention of linebackers and safety, brought them to the left and faked that handoff, run back to the right side.
It was the same play that they had run first from scrimmage, just Willis coming in the other direction. It didn't go for any yards, but, Coach, when you see somebody or they're willing to run laterally like that, what does it do, or how does it force the front seven to adjust?
Well, I mentioned that fly sweep is not something the Lobos have run much this year, and so they have shown that today. They've also got Brenner starting to get cranked up, so you kind of feel for the defensive coaches on Catalina Foothills sideline. They're drawing up how to stop Brenner Green, and now all of a sudden you got Jacob LeDuc coming at you.
Extra points up and good. One-play drive for Snowflake. Under a minute to go in the first. 14-0 the Lobos lead. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Kicking this one away after the turnover is quickly converted. It's a Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College as it's run right to left and stopped before he got to the 20. That was the speedster who was able to get by Gian Jones Mendola. And he was a block away, kept stretching this one out. But again, credit to speed that the Lobos offer at so many positions.
Yeah, really good kick deep into that corner, and it's awfully hard when you start going sideline to sideline on a kick return, especially with Snowflake's team speed. It's not going to be very successful very often.
It's a big possession here for the Falcons, as they're going to come out with 3 receivers, 2 to the near side. Shotgun with Asaz getting the call, trying to come from the right to the left, but there's, again, just swarming Lobos going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that defensive front's just getting better and better at reading and seeing what they're trying to run at them, and also, like you said, eating up those blocks, helping those linebackers be able to come up and fill.
How youthful is the defensive line relative to the offensive line? Roughly the same?
No, there are a couple of seniors on that right-hand side. Seth Lancaster, number 67. Seth Farnsworth, Lancaster, sorry, Seth. And Wyatt Johnson on that right-hand side. And 77, Jose Perez is a junior. And 27 is our freshman, Mr. Ziggy Olberg.
You say that like everybody's got one. 14-0.
Our token freshman.
The Lobos take the lead and will be facing 2nd and 9 on the defensive side. Catalina Foothills looking to try to move the chains for the first time in a couple of possessions. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers, and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
Kicking off the second quarter. When you want to kick off your college education, you should do so at Northland Pioneer College. You pay the lowest tuition in the state. It's your hometown college. Got 4-year degrees that you can pursue in education and business. 2nd and 9. Lobo defense has got really strong here. The deeper the Catalina Foothills has to start in its own territory. The last time they picked up a first down, it was with Cartwright, who gets the call there. Tries to go to the right side, but is stopped after a short gain, maybe 3.
Well, this is going to be a big third down play here. It's still 3rd and 7.5, 8-ish, and just as well as the Snowflake offense has executed the last 2 drives, Catalina Foothills, if they turn that ball back over to them, it could spell a lot of trouble.
Looking to pass as you got Jones and Willis well off the line. Pistol formation with Cartwright back. A little bit of pressure now, moving to the right side, and then a little bit of a wide throw. It looks as if Kirkendall is starting to rush things a little bit after he had a couple of good deliveries.
Had his receiver right at the marker there, maybe a little bit short, but if he'd have been able to catch that on his feet, he would have had a chance at converting there.
Got Willis back as well as Christian Smith. Smith had a pretty good return that was negated by a holding flag. Doesn't look as if this is a punting formation out here, though. And now moving back, going to ask Kirkendall to do it as he has a good snap and a good punt and a fair catch called for by Willis back in Snowflake territory at the 45. The Lobos getting a little bit of their own medicine special teams-wise.
Yeah, you wonder if they went to that quarterback punting the ball because of those 2 bad snaps, and you kind of shorten that snap up. You use your regular center and your quarterback who's used to handling that stuff. So
that winds up being almost a 40-yard punt. I mean, that'll do it. No return, good hang. 11:09 second quarter, 14-0. The Lobos will start on their own 43. Green, he had a 17-yard touchdown. LeDuc capitalized on the turnover on downs on the last possession. 1 touchdown, 7 yards out. Now he's going to try to throw this one to the near side where Rabin's got the catch. Nearly spins away from a tackler. Went about 540 degrees before eventually being spun out of bounds, and it was a 1-yard stop.
I've seen Mason make a few very athletic catches. That's always a hard angle to adjust and catch that ball and then turn and try to run. And there again, great job just making the catch, and he almost spun away from the defender there for some extra yards.
Wound up getting 1 yard. How about this stat? LeDuc is 3 for 6 for 5 yards.
Yeah, they haven't thrown the ball down the field a whole lot yet.
Oh, and there goes a bad snap that caromed off both LeDuc and Green. LeDuc goes back to get it, trying to run away from a couple of tacklers. Runs through 2, but he's going in the wrong direction. He's eventually spun down back at they're going to mark his forward progress at the 31, but it'll be a loss of 13.
After the fumble, pushed back.
It looked like that snap went off to his left, unfortunately, and he wasn't able to corral it.
After he was sacked 8 times in the first week against Coconino, I believe this might be the first time he was tackled behind the line of scrimmage since.
That was one of the things he mentioned after that Coconino game was I got to stop running backwards, and he was making a good effort there, but just couldn't get clear of defenders. A broken play like that's pretty tough.
3rd down and 21. Here's the Catalina Foothills defense with an opportunity to get off the field, but Snowflake's going to talk about it. Lobos will use their first timeout with 9:25 to go in the second. 14-0 Lobos lead. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Reminder, here at Snowflake, we like to bring you the halftime presentation of the Lobo Marching Band. I believe I said that right this time, right? No pride, just marching band.
Lobo Marching Band.
Lobo Marching Band.
As far as I know, if I'm wrong, Mr. TK Rollins, let me know. But the Lobo Marching Band.
Set up a screen to Rabin over the middle. There's all sorts of congestion. He gets tackled forward to the original line of scrimmage. He winds up gaining, give him 12 yards, but that makes it 4th and 9.
I'd expect a punt here from the Lobos. Play that field position game. You wanted to come out and put another score up here in this possession, but probably better to be wise and punt it away.
Second target there for Rabin, as there's Leduc blasting this one well over a vacated return facility as it bounces inside the 10. I mean, I don't know if there was anything a return man was going to do, but it's a little bit of a surprise the Falcons kind of got caught with their shoes tied there.
Yeah, that safety, it looked like they talked about, if he's up, you play up, and if he drops back, you go back, but he couldn't get dropped back fast enough because they snapped that thing pretty quick. And
that was a good punt. It's not a traditional punt look, but that ball spiraled and turned over and landed on its end and died right there on the 10-yard line.
8:41 to go and starting very deep in their own territories, Catalina Foothills. Coming out with that same formation with 2 receivers going to the right. Handoff goes Azaz as he's going to stay on his feet over the 10, fight his way toward the 15, gains 5. Assam, I beg your pardon.
Good strong run there that time, and a good push from that line. They're definitely committing to establishing that run game. I think they know that's their best option to find a way back into this contest here.
Connor Reed there on the tackle. We called his name an awful lot last week. As there's 4 receivers, 2 on either side. Assam on the left. Kirkendall drops back with time, now goes over the middle. He's got his man. And again, it looked as if one of the Falcon receivers was expecting a little bit of hurt.
Yeah, that's your alligator arms there, I think, right? He didn't look real committed to getting himself exposed up in the air, but that throws a little high and that safety's coming across. It's certainly easy to understand why.
Yes, but that was not that high.
It wasn't, and he had a lot of green grass in front of him.
Pretty good delivery there from Kirkendall, who's now looking at 3rd down, and now they're calling it 6. Trips to the left, single man wide right, short drop looking left, now throws down the sideline, and well covered there and incomplete. That's Smith there with stride for stride, but now a flag comes out in the Lobos secondary.
I saw two receivers coming off together and a lot of contact going on, within pretty close to the line of scrimmage, but I think they're probably going to get the Lobos for a hold. Or
when you got those 3 receivers really close, well, that answers my question. I was going to speculate that maybe there was a pick involved, but calling a hold, a defensive hold, which will move it out to the Catalina Foothills 24. First down since the second possession. 14-0 with 7:53 to go. And that's unfortunate because it looked like they were going to Laxdal the whole way, as he was well covered by Smith. Now a low snap brought back up. Assam is going to try the right side. get bumped and knocked down about half a yard.
Both Hayden and Connor in on that one there. They're definitely dialing in on the blocking schemes and making some good reads as linebackers here on these running plays.
Forcing them into a lot of second and longs. Even going back to those times that they were able to move the chains on first down, they were coming off of that and immediately placing themselves into second and long situations where the Falcons, is there a shotgun snap, drop back, Kirkendall looking over the middle again, and it's deflected this time by Smith.
Good coverage there by Christian. He's out in front of that receiver the whole way and has a better chance at that ball than the receiver did.
3rd down and 9. Second quarter thus far has been played much cleaner, especially by way of the Laundry, than had been the first. The Lobos looked as if they got a stop on 3rd down and 6, but caught holding in the secondary. So now 3 receivers go out to the right of the line. Single man on the near side, I believe that is Laxdal. As the shotgun snap had instead rotating to the right, going to throw this one into traffic and nearly picked off. That was Willis.
Yeah, really nice play there by Willis. He kind of undercut that route a little bit. You could see he had a really good beat on what was happening, made a good read. He just had to come underneath the route so he didn't interfere with the receiver, and the ball just got up a little too high for him, I think, but really good play.
We talked about the Ace Hardware keys to the game and how the Lobos secondary was going to have to perform against this team that looked like it wanted to spread things out. And thus far, it seems it's been admirable. Oh, some movement on the right side. It'll be false start. That just had the one instance when Mendola was able to get behind Jones, but otherwise, what do you guys think? The secondary's been playing pretty well, right?
They're rising to the occasion. They're covering things pretty well. They're spotting things. It didn't hurt that Ziggy Olberg was in the quarterback's face on that throw either. A little pressure always helps.
Oh, another bad snap and another knee taken. Oh boy.
Well, these short fields are sure advantageous for the offense when you're starting inside the other team's 20. It's easy to get some points out of this, or easier to get points out of it. But
how do you coach the punter to avoid taking that knee? It seems like it's just natural instinct. He's trying to prevent the ball from getting behind him, but
and he wants to keep those eyes up and be able to see what's coming at him while he gets to that ball. But yeah, he's got to find a way to keep that knee up off the ground.
You got to find a shortstop to play that position if they're going to keep snapping the ball that way.
Here comes Smith in motion. He's going right to left after the toss, looking for some blockers, but it cut down there as he tried to turn the corner. A great open field tackle, by Renalone Mims.
Well, I think, like you said earlier, Coach, it looked like that was set up pretty well and just a little indecisive, from the runner out there. It looked like there was a seam to hit, but like you said, it's so much easier to see from here than when you're running sideline to sideline as well.
And blocking out there, it's hard to, Gion's trying to block number 5 there, but at some point that you're going to run the risk of that holding call coming out. So he let him go. And nice play by number 5 coming off Gion's block and making a play on Christian.
2nd down and 9 from the 10 after another turnover on downs from the punter who had the low snap and then took a knee, and now Green's taking another player for a ride. Looks like his knee is down just outside the 2, maybe the 1. It should be short. Taking a look at our replay here. Oh, excellent photography. But look at that.
Oh, he was holding on for everything he had, wasn't he? And you just get 2, and something that Snowflake is really good is the team tackling right there. And, that kid had to hold on by himself for quite a bit.
Green on 3rd and 1, goes to the left side. A gaping hole allows him to walk into the end zone from 2 yards out. His second Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
Great job by that left side, and the whole offensive line there. They just walled off that left side and drove that defensive front back, and Brenner walked right into the end zone.
20-0. The Lobos are coming in for the extra point. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think even Coach and I would have scored on that one. The O-line did such a good job. It's could have walked that thing in.
Maybe you, Coach.
McCoy Norton in as they've been getting an awful lot of pressure coming off the right side. And there it is again. That time it's blocked. ALA West Foothills was spending an awful lot of time in Norton's face. Just again off that right side of the line, and they've been able to play through it, but that one's blocked to keep the score 20-0. 5:38 to go in the second quarter. The Lobos leading big. Let's see if that one comes back to haunt. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College, your journey starts here.
After giving Snowflake 2 incredibly short fields, Catalina Foothills really needs a big play as Mendola takes this one near the near sideline, tries to go back inside the hash, and is going to be tackled immediately. Who was there reading that run? Oh my. That might be our early contender for the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game as Mendola's late getting up.
Yeah, that was 20.
It looked like he thought he was going to be able to run along that 15-yard line. I was trying to see who was there with the stop. Well, mystery man, you're in the front, you're in the lead. Oh, Mendola's really late getting up. Williams there with the stop as Mendola is favoring his left leg. A Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. As there you see, he was hit hard up near the shoulder pad, and he kind of landed awkwardly underneath that left leg. You worry that might be a knee injury.
It was a really good job fundamentally, though. He got his head on the inside of the runner and kept his head up, and I mean, just exactly the way you'd coach it.
Yeah, that was just an unfortunate tangle of limbs as he was coming down. And Mendola has been giving the Lobo secondary a little bit of trouble, just the way he's been able to get himself open. Just have thus far not been able to get on the same page as Kirkendall. So we'll see who comes out to try to take some of the attention. Laxdal is going to come out, line up lone man wide left from their own 14. Handoff goes to Sam as he tries to cut it up, and he gets awkwardly tackled by a shoestring. Was that Ulberg?
Looked like the quarterback took a hop into that
little
snap
bit.
a little bit.
Oh, this is Nichols.
Yeah, Nichols has been doing a really good job flowing, and typically when he's able to run like that, he's a heck of a linebacker. He does a good job tackling, which tells you your D-line's doing a pretty good job keeping the blockers off of him.
5 minutes to go. The Falcons were able to move the chains on the previous possession with a holding penalty whistled against the Lobos. Other than that, nothing since their second possession as this one's thrown underneath. The Psalms caught it at the 20, makes one man miss, brought down as a flag comes down and collides with one of the Falcon offensive linemen. It seems as if Catalina Foothills is going to be moving backwards.
Unfortunate for Catalina Foothills on a decent play, gained 6 yards. Receiver, the back out of the backfield became the receiver and made a good move after the catch there to get some extra yards. But
26 yards on their first down for the Falcons. Since then, Kirkendall has gone 0 for 9. And Assam has a 12-yard run. Cartwright has an 11-yard run. Otherwise, the only positive yardage was a 5-yard run from Assam. So they've been bottled up here by the Lobo defense, trailing 20-0 and now facing 2nd and 16 with a foot on the goal line. Gets rid of that one and throws it a little bit too wide for Assam as Kirkendall now 0 for his last 10.
Yeah, he just kind of felt like he rushed that a little bit, and then Olberg got that long arm out into that lane a little bit, and wonder if he saw that and was trying to throw the ball around him.
Be a little fearful of getting something batted into the air down at this part of the field.
They've had so much trouble with the punting game. As now Cartwright is in the backfield on Kirkendall's left. He'll again drop back into the end zone, pressured, loses the football, picks it back up on a bounce, running to his right, still in the end zone, now clears it. He's at the 5, now the far sideline at the 10 before he is knocked out of bounds and a flag comes out. Another flag comes out in the same direction. I think that these might be late hits on Snowflake.
I think both flags are for Hayden got over there to the sideline, and that's a tough one. You never quite know exactly when that quarterback's going to step out of bounds. I at any level of football, I kind of feel like a quarterback has an advantage of trying to draw that call on the sideline.
Right now, everybody is feeling angry at Patrick Mahomes for reasons that they can't understand.
I think we understand the reasons. But just a fortunate bounce there, right? Olberg got his hand on that ball. Quarterback didn't secure it real well, and he was able to knock it out, and he's lucky it bounced right back up to him, and really good job making a play after that.
Wound up running for 10 yards as that moves the chains out to the 32 of the Lobos. Cartwright tries to find some movement in the teeth of the defense, and nothing there. That's Cartwright, actually.
Play caller for Catalina Foothills does a good job of keeping the Lobo defense honest, though. They've got to keep testing that middle and making those linebackers play in the middle of the field as well.
4 minutes to go in the half, 20-0. Big feature for our Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store show, halftime show, is going to be the Lobo Marching Band. As Kirkendall handoff this time Assam as he makes one man miss in the backfield, gets over the line of scrimmage and then forward to the 36. Gains 4, makes it 3rd down and 6.
Boy, and Nichols in again. I mean, it feels like he's in on every tackle right now.
Rack up a lot of tackles tonight.
What's the play here? Trailing 20-0, you're going to have to punt it or kick it off to start the second half. Is this 4-down territory?
It's awfully hard on that wrong side of the 40.
Yeah, a little scary.
See how much they get here with 4 receivers and 3 coming to the left. Kirkendall drops straight back, now looks right. Got a man with a little bit of space and almost drops it in there. Giving chase there was Rabin.
I'm impressed. He throws a nice ball, and it's just, they're only missing by, inches a lot of the times. And so you can see he gets a little more accurate, and, Cat Foothills could be a problem for some teams to deal with.
But again, though, a shout out to the Lobo tight end / H-back going stride for stride with Catalina Foothills receiving core.
Mason's another one with good speed on this Lobo team.
Looks like they are going for it on 4th down of the Falcons as there's a drop back to the near side, a little bit too high. They're applying some pressure and making sure that wasn't going to be much after the catch. Should it have been had was Jackson Merrill. Well, boy, he was timing that one perfectly, because if he got there just a little bit sooner, you would have had a hard time being angry at the referee for throwing a flag on him.
Well, Olberg, again, is right in the face of the quarterback. They're having a really hard time taking him. I don't know about you, Coach, but that kind of felt a little desperate. Defensively, I think Catalina Foothills has been playing fairly well. They've given up 2 touchdowns on, 20 total yards of offense. So to give them the ball at the 35, I don't know if I would have done that.
Lobos have 2 timeouts with 3 minutes to play, leading 20-0, second quarter. Willis comes in motion, fake the toss to him. Now fake the run with Ledoux because he's going to instead look for Smith, who's obviously interfered with that time. Say that the last one was bang, but there was no question about this one.
Well, number 24, unfortunately, Smith got a couple of steps on him, and he panicked into that. If he'd been able to turn his head and find the ball, he had the best shot of catching that of anybody.
And now that kind of looked like the third option, fake the jet sweep, and then where Jacob had scored on that quarterback keep, he took a step in, and then then they went into that pass right out of that play.
I'm guessing that was a design pass based off from that look to try and take advantage, try and get those guys sucked up just a little bit.
I think if he gets his feet set, he's got a good shot at hitting that.
Now it's Schmolzer there attempting to defend, and the flag was thrown on him. Pressure in air comes as Leduc has this one batted at the line and nearly picked off. Cartwright was there trying to get the short hop.
Job number 3 there, getting his hands up in the passing lane and,
That's a stop.
and batting that ball.
Probably better that thing got batted down anyway. It didn't. Catalina Foothills had that pretty well defended, it looked like.
2:50 to go. Now the Lobos are looking at giving the ball back to the Falcons with some opportunity on the game clock. 20-0 they lead.
I'd expect a field goal attempt here if they need to.
Turn and give Green. Again, runs over the left side. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. And inside. No, he's still on his feet all the way at the pylon. And he's in the end zone. Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown. We were just talking about the railing. It's the first time this season it burned me.
You thought he'd gone down there.
I did. I didn't see who wound up. One of his blockers got him. It might have been Jones. So a 21-yard run for Green makes it 26-0 Snowflake.
You know, we talk about the speed on this Lobo team, but you feel like Brenner's playing at a whole different speed tonight. He's just, every time he touches that ball, he's just moving, running away from guys, and he looks good.
Another big rush from this time both ends. Norton's able to get it up and good to make it 27 and no, he did not get it. Wow.
Well, they're overloading the right side of the kick. The kick block team, and you're taught to block in if you're on that edge because you want to make the person who's got the longest route get to the kicker, and they're coming off that edge really, really hard.
My son recently decided he was a Detroit Lions fan. No judgment. But they're playing without offensive and defensive coordinators that they had for a long time, and people wonder how they're going to respond to that, and I think it's still TBD, but special teams of equal importance to those coordinators, or especially at this level? How do you measure the importance of your special teams coach?
Oh, it's huge. They're huge, and those are some adjustments that the Lobos will need to make as they see what's going on here.
It's second time as we're talking about it. The ball's kicked out of bounds here by the Lobos. And interesting, their Mendola's back out to receive that one. So good to see that he's back up there on his feet. As that was the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at NPC. You'll pay the lowest tuition in the state. Your hometown college offers bachelor's degrees in education and business. So 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. Awful lot of time after they went for it on fourth down. Falcons couldn't convert. Lobos wind up getting another score out of it, but have now missed the last 2 points after. Come out with 2 on either side, and in the backfield is Asamas. He's going to run out into the flat, catch this one over the 35, and get dropped at the 37, gain of 3.
Going to be critical here for Catalina Foothills to get a first down if they give this ball back to Snowflake with another minute and a half left. They'll be aggressive and try to score, and that would be awfully tough if they can get up by 30.
Wind up getting 4 yards on that one, so make it 2nd and 6. Falcons do have 2 timeouts as well. Now working with the pistol. Assam, no, yes, that is Assam. He's going to swing out to the left. Instead, throw this one into traffic. Looked like they had Assam on the wheel, but instead tried to go upfield and wound up going incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like the quarterback took a look at him and just for whatever reason he didn't like it. But this big third down here. I think Snowflake has, 2 timeouts left?
Yep. That completion on the first down play was the first in 12 opportunities. Right now, Kirkendall 2 for 15 for 29 yards. Got 3 receivers out wide left, single man on the right, drops back with time, now flips this one up toward the sideline, nearly intercepted and then nearly brought down by Mendola. That was Jones there on the defense.
Yeah, Gion's gonna wish he had another shot at that one. He turned his head just a half second late, but still got his hands up, and normally that's a pick for him.
So 4th and 6, did it last time.
Oh, golly, they're going again.
26-0. Catalina Foothills down.
Three receivers bunched up off the right side on the short side. Single man wide left. I think that's Mendola. Kirkendall again with time now. Ulberg is able to run through, force him to the left, looking upfield. Now gets his feet under him, throws this one into traffic, and it's again nearly picked off, and again nearly brought down by Mendola. Why, I guess Mendola's legs feeling okay. He almost had consecutive acrobatic catches.
Good football player. You got to be impressed. He and the quarterback is cool under pressure. They're working hard, and you question that decision to go for that, but not at least try to work with the long field. But I guess 2 out of 4 punts so far have been a little rough for him too. So.
Yeah, I guess it's not a negative play, so it's been better than the last 2 punts.
Maybe their coach is hoping he throws an interception down the field.
Minute and 42 seconds left. Second quarter, 26-0 Snowflake leading. Willis in motion right to left. Fake the toss. LeDuc wants to run. Bounces off one tackler. Now chased by Cartwright. Runs away from him. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's got some blockers at the 10. Puts his head down to get toward the end zone. And he's down just inside the 1.
Kind of see Jacob's speed on that when he got to this. Looked like they had an angle at him here on this edge, and he had another gear and impressive run.
Which race did he?
He was 100 meter.
100 meter
state champ.
100 meter state champ.
But I understand he's not as fast as his mom.
Is she the one who's providing us those details?
She might have been a pretty good track athlete when she was
Oh,
a young
you're
guy.
going back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I thought that maybe here's a
oops.
Missed a little bit of a broken play, but it does not matter. The Duke is able to bob and weave his way over the goal line and into the end zone for a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
You ever wonder there, Coach, about him turning the wrong way on purpose so he could score that himself? Or?
Maybe. I'll get another carry that way.
Oh, that's right. I'm certain that's not the case, but it's nice to have a quarterback who's so good in short yardage. That way he can pick up that yard anytime they need it. Between him and Brenner, it's awfully difficult on the defensive side. It's hard to take both of those kids away.
So 32-0 as I'm flanked by math teachers. You said, Brogan, that there's something about the margin of victory that Max Preps takes into consideration?
Yeah, that the AIA doesn't. So Max Preps will mirror the AIA rankings a little bit, but if you get some teams with some bigger margins of victory, they show a little bit better in Max Preps than they are going to in the AIA. I have heard that they've put in some smaller margins of victory as a factor into the AIA. The AIA is concerned about teams going out and trying to win 60-0, and they certainly want to promote sportsmanship and things like that, which I fully am on board with. But, if you go win a game by 1 or you win a game by 30, those aren't the same games. So there's got to be something in there to kind of trigger that difference.
So I believe that was after the extra point was missed. A personal foul was called on Catalina Foothills, and the Lobos.
Looks like they're going to get it on the kickoff. They're lobbying to get it now and get another attempt here, I think, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Reason I bring that up is you look at Catalina Foothills' remaining schedule, not upcoming, but remaining. I mean, it's an awful lot of Tucson programs that are struggling.
I mean, yeah, I think, obviously Micah Mountain's pretty good down there, but I think they're going to be in most of the games they play and have an opportunity to win them. I think Catalina Foothills has a chance of winning 6-7 games this year, which would be a big bump for what you would have thought in the beginning of the year from them. So this could be a really good PowerPoint game for Snowflake in the end.
Well, we'll have that for you in the second half. It's looking like we'll have an opportunity to talk about an awful lot of stuff in the second half. That'll come after you have a chance to watch the Lobo Marching Band at halftime, as the penalty moves the tee into Falcon territory. When you want to move into college, you should go to NPC. It's your hometown college, lowest tuition in the state, bachelor's degrees in education and business. Norton has had kicked 2 out of bounds, as this one is going to go nearly through the uprights.
Just shy of the uprights.
Good kick that time. And again, I'm not sure if they have something designed on those 2 kicks that he's put out of bounds, but everything else he's putting out or at the goal line or in the end zone. So I like those better.
32-0 with 1 minute and 24 seconds left. Falcons trying to get a little bit of positive energy going into the locker room. As we could go ahead and finish that thought, their next 3 weeks, Pueblo, Amphi, Saguaro, before they go to Walden Grove and Micah Mountain, then finish with Douglas, as they're moving through the right side in a pretty good hole.
And I know Walden Grove
runs for 4.
I know Walden Grove was pretty solid last year.
And they're a good team again this year, and as is Micah Mountain, of course. That was a little surprising that Micah Mountain lost the game last week to ALA West. But
do you have any inside scoop on that?
I don't, other than they played at ALA West, so those long road trips sometimes they affect teams that are not used to traveling a lot.
Kirkendall moving to the right and gets rid of that one with Olberg on his heels.
It feels like Olberg, every drop back, he's had good to great pressure on the quarterback.
Walden Grove going into today is 1-2, has suffered losses to Eastmark and Tucson.
That Eastmark game was a close game. Eastmark, you have to consider one of the probably better teams in 4A this year.
Yeah. Here's a give to Cartwright as he is able to bounce off a man to get to the 30 and should have enough for a first down.
That's Jack Cartwright is taken by surprise.
And stops the clock with 37 seconds, and Catalina Foothills will take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 32-0, Snowflake leading. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk 106.7.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
1st and 10 after they moved the chains for the first time without a penalty flag in the second quarter to the Falcons. Try Cartwright again. Got a little bit of a quicker burst to the line of scrimmage than Assam. And he's been a little bit more effective runner here against this speedy Lobo front, but he doesn't gain anything, and that could very well be the final play of the quarter if Catalina Foothills chooses.
Yeah, looking like both sidelines are ready to go in and do halftime and talk it over a little bit here.
32-0. Snowflake won the toss and elected to defer to the second half. That should be where we begin. But, hold on a minute. And they will not run a play. We'll have a quick conversation to start the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show before we hand it off to the Lobo Marching Band. 32-0. Snowflake is in front. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk 106.7.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnault and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
This is iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store Halftime Show.
Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. The Lobos leading Catalina Foothills 32-0. The Falcons picked up 26 yards on their that was actually the second play from scrimmage. But then Isaac Kirkendall went 0 for his next 12. He is currently 2 for 18 for 29 yards. He's hit 2 different receivers, including Khalil Assam, who has also rushed for 30 yards on 11 carries. Cartwright has gone for 21 yards on 4 carries. Is that indicative of how dominant Snowflake's defense has been?
I think so, and they match up really well across the board with him. I think Catalina Foothills does want to throw the ball. It's like their receivers seem like they're a skilled group of kids, but we have really good athletes in the secondary across the board, and we're running step for step. I think the quarterback made a lot of good throws, but those windows are so narrow to throw that football in because the coverage is so well, and so I just think it's some of it's matchup. We just match up really well with what they're trying to do, and we're executing at a pretty high level.
Well, it's the Patriotic game here at Snowflake High, and the Lobo marching band is already going, so we will hand it off to them as the Lobos lead 32-0 at halftime.
Let's hear it again for your Lobo Pride Marching Band. Lucy, I believe there's a sign on the field. You teenagers abbreviating, I believe that means homecoming. At least provide an option for no. Gentlemen right there.
That was the Lobo Marching Band as the Snowflake football team is leading 32-0. We'll continue the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show after this. For the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. 32-0 at the break. Lobos are in front. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share. You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down!
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
has been iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Continuing the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260, just before you get to the Honda Casino. The Lobos lead 32-0 as we're joined by Guy Chili. As what had happened here to get the scoring going for Snowflake?
Well, not a nice little drive accumulated of a 17-yard run by Green. Norton had a kick. And with 1:52 to go in the first quarter, they were up 7-0, Snowflake.
After that, the Lobo defense started to get really tough. What I guess we would call a fumbled snap and resulting turnover on downs gave Snowflake a short field. Who happened next?
Nathan LeDuc runs it in for 6 yards and a touchdown and got the extra point. It was 14-0.
That took him into the second quarter, I believe, when what happened?
Same thing with the punt. Catalina punter's his knee hit the ground, giving the Snowflake great field position. And Green had another 2-yard touchdown run. We did miss the point, and the score went to 20-0.
After that, Catalina Foothills started going for it on fourth down, relatively deep in their own territory. The Lobos able to get a short field, which was punctuated with what?
A 21-yard run by Mr. Green, and we did miss another extra point and went up 26-0.
After LeDuc set himself up with a big run to take it inside the one.
He takes it in from the one very, very easily and convincingly, and Snowflake leads 32-0 at halftime.
32-0. Snowflake leading as LeDuc is 5 for 9 for 18 yards through the air, 38 yards on 5 carries. That includes a 13-yard loss on one of his runs. Green has 90 yards on 8 carries. We've talked about Catalina Foothills with Isaac Kirkendall, who is 2 for 18 for 29 yards. Mendola has been his favorite target. He got 1 for 26. Assam had the other for 3. Khalil Assam also on the ground, 11 carries for 30 yards. And Isaac Cartwright has 21 yards on 4 carries. I believe his first name is Isaac. If not, I apologize. No, it's Jack. I was off, and there's the apology. Jack Cartwright has 21 yards on 4 carries. This has been the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store halftime show for the best selection of hiking, camping, hunting, and fishing gear. Go to Honda Ski and Outdoor Store north of Pine Top on Highway 260 just before you get to the Honda Casino. Got the kickoff to start the second half. After this, it's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learning new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
This has been iTalk 106.7's presentation of the Honda Outdoor Ski and Sports Store halftime show.
Getting ready to start the third quarter with Catalina Foothills coming out to kick it off for the first time. When you want to start your college education, go to Northland Pioneer College, pay the lowest tuition in the state, and you can pursue a bachelor's degree in education or business at your hometown college. Question, what are the keys to the second half with the Lobos leading 32?
I think for the Lobos, obviously more Brenner Green. Brenner's been effective tonight, and even Jacob. It's opening things up for Jacob Leduc to run the ball, and the fly sweep look that they seem to want to develop here. So for Catalina Foothills, I think their passing game's going to have to start clicking a little bit for them to have a chance to get back into this here.
Here's a big hole for Smith to run through as he bounces along to 35. Now gets outside at the 40, 50, down to the far sideline where he's pursued by 6 tacklers and eventually brought down at the 26. There was Jacob Leduc. I was like, who's number 8? Jacob Leduc was one of the other return men.
Was he back on the? I didn't
He
see
was on
that.
the far hash.
Well, like I say, he was the 100-meter champion. I know Christian was second, so that would make sense. But I kind of expected Christian to break that one all the way.
Yeah, I was impressed. Catalina Foothills did a good job angling that thing out. And
all right. I'm still shocked that Leduc is returning kicks now, or at least to start the second half.
Hey, that's
Willis is back out there, so it's not as if he's not available.
That's just old school high school football. Usually punts, kickoffs, returns kicks. You get a quarterback who can win the 100-meter dash.
Jim Brown.
That's right. You put him everywhere.
Yeah. What is going on? we've lost all control.
It's like 1A football, right? Like.
It was a procedure penalty on the Lobos. I think that was on Christian out here on the edge.
I was distracted by the PA after that. Here's a snap to Leduc's left. He goes and gets it, now throws it over the right side where he's got Smith nearly at the yard marker. That might be a 12-yard gain.
You know, it's kind of funny here because Snowflake ran that play and they still, Christian ran that post route. They threw the ball even though it was whistled because of the false start, and Snowflake came back and ran it again.
Stayed with that same play call.
Yeah.
So Lobos trying to punch it in and get the score over the threshold that would run the clock, as we are now clocking in at 8:33. Wouldn't be too sad if that happened, as Green's going to get the carry. Again, go to that left side. Gets the first down. He's at the 25. Puts his head down and goes through a man to get – that beg your pardon. That was the 15. He's already down to the 11-ish. Gain of 7 and a first down.
My goodness, does he deliver a blow here on that safety? He's running up aggressively in run support, but
we gave the Deemers glass-shattering hit of the game to an offensive player a week ago, and maybe that'll become the trend.
Can't fault the safety. He came in low, tried to take him down, but Brenner's strong.
Yeah, that's a man and a boy there kind of situation it felt like. But
32-0, 10.5 to go in the third. Fake the handoff. Green throwing over the middle where that is Smith. No, that's Willis. And some words exchanged afterwards. And a 12-yard touchdown pass. Comfort Fit Dentures between
Leduc and Willis to make the score 38-0.
Well, nice play. They're seeing something on that slant that's open, and they've gone to it to Christian twice now, and Coulter once there for that touchdown.
I'm wondering too if they wanted to get some of those, those middle passes on tape for somebody down the road to hold some safeties and linebackers down the road somewhere. But maybe I'm overthinking that a little bit.
Been getting pressure off the right side of the line, low snap, and now Smith's going to come up and try to run with it as he's brought down at the 15. So I believe that's 0 for their last 3 points after touchdown, but leading 38-0 with 10:21 to go. That should be the magic number, correct? To get the clock running?
Yeah, I believe it's 35, right? So
35 in the second half, and so it should go to that.
This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Don't false start on your way over, though. This is a procedure flag, of which there were many in the first quarter. Good arm there.
That's an interesting strategy there. The clock doesn't start after the score, but since we had the false start, now the clock's going to run for the kickoff.
It eats up some time. This second half will go fast if that running clock stays in effect.
So move it back to the 35. You can pursue 4-year degrees in education and business at Northland Pioneer College. It's your hometown school. You pay the lowest tuition in the state. As the Lobos lead 38-0. That's 6 touchdowns scored by Snowflake, which I believe just 4 first downs here, as this one is going to take a bounce out of bounds. So the third time that Snowflake has kicked off out of bounds. You see evidence of all sorts of things that could potentially get some attention this week before the Lobos go down for a scheduled performance in red-hot Tempe, Arizona. Marcos Deniza awaits, and then after that, Poston Butte.
Well, you can tell that neither of the officials here are jugglers. So I was wondering how that works, because typically it's at the 35, right?
35, and so this will be at the 40 with the procedure penalty.
So they do count those, any preceding penalties?
They do.
I don't think I've ever seen it before.
It's pretty rare.
Now starting with 8.5, 2 minutes come off after that infraction as they're trying to throw this one to Mendola. And he is forced to go back of the line of scrimmage, a loss of 2 on just the 3rd completion on the evening for Kirkendall.
Trying to get that ball out on the edge and make something happen out there, but I think he would have been wise to head outside after he caught that ball instead of trying to come back into the teeth of the defense there.
Well, it looks like Snowflake's got a large chunk of their backups in defensively, if not all of them.
Kirkendall drops back with with time that runs out. Now trying to come to the near side, tucks it, gets to the 40 and brought down by the horse collar. There's the flag.
Good job by Jack Butler there as a defensive end, showing a little bit of speed. Jack's getting some playing time here now too, and unfortunately though he got the horse collar call.
I believe the last 3 first downs the Falcons have been able to use to move the chains have been on Snowflake penalties. That's since the first quarter. Catalina Foothills has not been able to get a first down without an assist from Snowflake. As they're saying, keep moving that clock. 38-0 the Lobos lead, but this one moves it into Lobo territory out to the Snowflake 45. Keep an eye here at the bottom of your screen. Is that Mendola? As from the shotgun,
give to Assam. Tries to go to the right side. Makes a man miss. Still on his feet at the 40, and then down toward the 37. Gain of 8.
Oh, we see with some younger guys coming in and guys that haven't been on the field, they over-pursued a little bit and opened up a cutback lane that allowed him to get some good yards on that carry.
Can you give us an update on the JV game? That occurred in Tucson, correct?
The freshmen traveled down to Tucson last night. Freshman-sophomore game. We have all freshmen in our program and on that team, but the final score was 12-8, Catalina Foothills, but they didn't get a complete game in. I guess they went under a lightning delay and ended up canceling the rest of that game.
Pass was incomplete, 3rd down and 2. They're trying to come to the near side. And again, I only bring that up because here you're going to have these guys getting almost a full half of football. And frequently are denied. Frequently? Occasionally? Is this one going to the right side?
The JV players did get some time. Wednesday night, we had Payson's JV team here for a Wednesday game, and which our JV won. I don't remember the final score, but I know that they won against Payson that night.
Pass is good for 16 yards.
Well, and even with these younger kids, they do a good job flowing to the football, and they tackle, they've been tackling the ball pretty well once they get there. So, again, you can see how beneficial this is for them, and impressed that they don't back down from the physicality at all.
From the 21, this is Cartwright as he runs straight up the middle. Falls down toward the yard marker at the 10-yard line. That's a good 11-yard gain and a first down. So drive started at the 40 after a couple of infractions. Kicked it out of bounds, a short field to work with. They've now moved it 50 yards and are looking at 1st and goal. Nope, it looks like they can pick up a first down, can they? I don't know if that's what's stopping play right now, or it seems as if the sticks are up.
They are, so that would indicate there's some room down there by the goal line.
Was there debris of some sort on the field? It looked as if maybe a pen was picked up. Now, with Cartwright standing on his left, Kirkendall drops back, pressured, starts moving again to the left, all the way back at the 20, still looking upfield and throws this one away. Nice decision there as it was well covered in the end zone.
Yeah, he did a good job getting, they had that inside pressure, really good job by the defensive line there, and quarterback did a good job getting to the pocket, but he had to get that ball back to the line of scrimmage, which he was able to do, even rolling out to his left, so. It's awfully hard to deal with any middle pressure, right, in football. If you can't protect those A gaps, you're
got to get out of there. Yeah, 66 came unblocked on that for some reason. Somebody missed that assignment.
2nd and 10. Give Cartwright. Tries to go up the middle and weaves his way toward the 5. Gains 5. Now it looks like the sticks are down, so it is an and goal situation. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, if there was room down there probably wasn't room to fit the football between the goal line and the first down marker, so they must have just decided they're going to lay him down.
Well, it should be pretty simple, right? The ball's either spotted on the 10-yard line or it ain't. Like, it shouldn't be that hard to make that decision, I would guess. But what do I know?
3rd and goal. Kirkendall looking left, throws in that direction's got a man over the goal line, and he's in for the score. Laxdal there with the 6-yard completion and Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
Yeah, just an out route there and a pretty good ball thrown, and this Catalina Foothills will go home with a little bit of at least some positive.
Now the clock continues to run, correct?
Yes, it should.
As in to do the kicking here is the punter who's been put in an awful lot of bad situations, Jamison Leary, as he's got it up and good. Makes it 38-7
2 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the third quarter. Lobos still up big. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
I mean, you can just for the 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Kicking off for the second time here in the third quarter is Leary. This is the Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Your hometown college will pay the lowest tuition, and you could pursue four-year degrees. As he squibs this one to the right and then out of bounds, it was not touched. Trying to make a play on that one for a brief, fleeting moment, and then realizing what was happening. Nate Hall is back there doing some receiving. That's a very good decision, as against ALA West Foothills, saw both teams kind of get caught up in the moment and field one that looked like it was angling out of bounds.
Yeah, that may be the only kick return he gets, though. I might, I think I might have scooped that one up and given it a shot. Even though it would have been the exact wrong decision.
Showing Coach Reddick that the sophomore's got a good head on his shoulders?
Yeah, that's probably better than picking that thing up and fumbling it or something.
So the clock hasn't been moving.
When I glanced a minute ago, I thought it was, but I think that's what I was just looking for. I think we might have gotten that one wrong. I think we went back to under 35-point spread in the second half, so I think that we go back to normal timing rules.
Well, I know in basketball it doesn't. I can tell you that.
Here's an interesting score to report. Gila Ridge 28, Northwest Christian 17.
Oh, wow.
That is interesting.
I don't know, like with the running clocks, once you kind of mess with the integrity of the game, I don't know how you go back. Like, once you get the clock running, in my mind, there's no scenario where you stop it.
How do you get it back on fair, even keel? Exactly.
Right, because if the idea is now all of a sudden, because it's not 35, the game's more competitive, well, you've taken 10 minutes away from Catalina Foothills at this point with the running clocks.
Exactly. But the Lobos had already made the call to go ahead and pull their starters pretty much out of the game too. They've got a lot of guys that are shut down for the rest of the evening, or at least planning on being shut down for the rest of the evening.
Two more that is here's a handoff that is going to be initially bottled up and then tackled forward as Nate Hall in there with the carry. I don't know if these are right. I can't believe one of them is. The other one seems suspicious as well. I'll give you the least suspicious first. Sunnyside 14, Micah Mountain nothing. Pausing for reaction.
That would surprise me, but I honestly don't know a lot about Sunnyside football. I know their wrestling program is solid.
And their girls basketball program is solid. I can speak to that.
All right. How about this one? Independence 65, ALA West Foothills nothing.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I think they got that one.
Just
backwards.
making sure. Right? I've been called naive before.
And Sunnyside is a 6A school, and so you never know what you're going to get there. But that ALA West Foothills, that score's got to be.
That can't be.
It's
right.
probably opposite of what it really is, right? Someone's putting numbers on the wrong side of the scores.
Round Valley reportedly leading Blue Ridge 21-18 in the third quarter.
Oh, that's a close game.
Well, when we watched Blue Ridge, they were, just that wing T dive.
Wide open pass is going to be caught and completed into Catalina Foothills territory. Edge Bryant is out there doing the quarterbacking as he was able to connect with Edge Bryant is the receiver, I beg your pardon.
Quarterback would probably be Maverick Greer. Number
there we
9,
go.
Our other token freshman.
That's a good ball right there.
Maverick is going to be a solid quarterback.
He's got really strong arm. I mean, that was a 25-yard throw.
Last play of the third quarter in all likelihood
as Hall's going to bounce off of a couple of tacklers, move along the 40, and gain about 8 yards on that first down territory.
Great job, great run there by Nate Hall to, good second effort and running through some tackles.
That will be the final play of the third quarter, 38-7, the Lobos lead. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Well, yeah, they had a... Kick off the fourth quarter. When you want to kick off your college education, go to Northland Pioneer College. Your hometown college is offers the lowest tuition in the state and bachelor's degree programs in education and business. Shohei Ohtani has hit his 52nd homer, and the Dodgers lead the hated Giants 4-2. Do you realize that longtime series between those two teams is even 500 record?
Over 100 years or something?
1,289 to 1,289 or something like that. As here's Greer running to the left side and tackled out of bounds, and there's the flag.
Nice job by Maverick. He intended to run that out to the right side, but it was not open, and he completely reversed his field there. Made a little something out of nothing there.
Second time that we've seen a late hit out of bounds, one on each side. Lots of procedure flags, kicks out of bounds, special teams miscues on both sides. The general rule of thumb anymore, both of you coaches, is that you're not supposed to run guys as punishment, but it seems like it's temptation.
That's what the quarterback gets to that sideline, and the contact, they did carry through on the tackle, but the contact was probably almost initiated, if not inbounds, right at the sideline.
Throwing toward the goal line. He's got two receivers in the neighborhood, and now a bunch of flags come out.
I didn't see anything. I'm surprised that two flags came out on that, but they must have grabbed a hold of somebody around the waist or something.
I think behind Bryant, there's another Lobo getting some action. Brock Brimhall. I think that they had a hand around his hip. Let's see what the call is. But Greer and Bryant.
They are backing them up.
And that clock's rolling still, so we're back on our running
clock. So. I thought I just looked up the rule in the AIA rule book, but maybe I'm wrong or read it wrong.
Well, as Tucson continues to sprawl, it's got to be close to a 4-hour drive anymore to get to Catalina Foothills. Maybe they're thinking
they're fine getting home.
Yeah, I don't know how you get there in 4 hours.
Oh, sorry.
You might.
I don't know anything about that either.
Certainly not on a bus.
I don't speed, and I never use my phone.
Well, I got down to I shouldn't say anything. I better stop there.
Here's Greer from the shotgun. Give Hall running to the left side. He puts his head down at the goal line, and he's in the end zone. From 8 yards out, it's a Comfort Fit Dentures touchdown.
Yeah, nice job. The offensive line opened a good hole, and Hall hit that thing with some speed. And again, the running backs all night have really been finishing runs, especially when they get by the goal line. They've all been, they've all finished them really well, and they're getting themselves into the end zone. So.
Now, what do the Lobos need to do to try to prevent this pressure coming from the right side? Oh, well, it looks like they're going to kick it.
Looks like they're going to go ahead and kick. It looks like they've got Edge Bryan in to hold instead of Christian Smith, who's normally the holder.
See how the snap looks here. A little bit high, brought it down. This time calling off the Dogs. As it's up and good, 45-7, Snowflake leads with 10 minutes to play. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You have a vision, a brand to build, a message to share? You need signs that turn heads, apparel that makes a statement, banners that grab attention, and business cards to leave a lasting impression. Your success starts with the right tools. That's where we come in. Allegra Sholo brings your ideas to life with custom designs and top quality products, helping you stand out and grow your brand. Let's make something amazing together. Call Allegra Sholo today.
I don't know about Walden Grove, but I think...
10 minutes, 2 seconds to play. Another Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it's time to kick off your college education, do so at Northland Pioneer College. Pay the lowest tuition in state. Bachelor's degrees in education and business. As Norton kicks this one, again angling, but it's going to be taken outside the hash. And run up to the 15, to the 20, slips a tackle, and out of bounds to the 25, as that was Mendola. Well, we were just talking off the air, though, about Catalina Foothills. It's Mendola, who it looked like he had a scary knee injury potentially, but he's back out there. But the next 3 weeks, or next 3 ball games, seem to set up to really give them an opportunity to get things figured out before you got Walden Grove and Micah Mountain, who last we had seen, I believe both were locked into some tough games. Micah Mountain, of course, state champ.
Yeah, I think in the rest of their schedule, those are going to be their 2 biggest challenges you would expect. And
I beg your pardon, though. Here's another score that it's just like, okay, Pueblo 41, Copper Canyon nothing. So maybe we should let them go ahead and play those games before I start.
yeah, you can't count too far ahead on anything. And, credit to Catalina Foothills. We mentioned at the start of the game tonight, they're a program that is in rebuilding mode, but they're certainly headed in the right direction.
Try to run this one up the middle, as that's still Assam out there getting carries. 8.5 to go, trailing 45-7. Is this, I'm sorry, just to finish that thought about scheduling, though, you almost look at the way that they're going to have 2 of their last 3 games, the Falcons against Walden Grove, against Micah Mountain, right? Those almost must win. Looking at how potentially soft the middle of the schedule is going to be, it kind of feels like the same situation the Lobos were in last year. As here's a drop back and a little bit of a high toss. So,
yeah, if they got any aspirations to go into the state tournament, right, they're going to have to win one of those games, I would think. There's, I don't know how many were there, 40 plus football teams in the 4A?
50. I think there's just over 50 in the 4A. The 4A, I think, has more teams than any other.
Yeah, and you only take 16, and it's not conference specific, so there's no guaranteed positions even for a conference champion. So,
speaking of strength of schedule, as that one's thrown to the far sideline, caught, and I believe he got both feet down. Cartwright making his NFL debut, or at least getting the tape ready. That is.
Nice catch, nice play on that sideline, and he did get both feet in and then stepped out of bounds, but it doesn't matter. The clock's running anyway.
Few scores here to both illustrate how impressive the Lobo defense has been. Bradshaw Mountain's leading Mingus 52-0 in the 4th quarter. That one I think is a little bit more believable. Eastmark, an upcoming foe, leads Maryvale 51-0. And Coconino leads Mojave 21-7. 6-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 4 with 6 minutes and 43 seconds. Lobos leading 45-7. That's a 50 burger there from Bradshaw Mountain. I mean, we watched them yesterday. They got some pretty good, or last week, beg your pardon, but skill players. That running back, he was the real deal. Big dude, fast dude. As here is a gaping hole up the middle. Now runs through one tackler at the 35, trying to get outside at the 20, but brought down from behind. A great open field tackle there.
It's Talmadge Lucas on that carry. Great job, Talmadge, running that down, not quitting on that play. And now let's see if the Lobos can stiffen up that defense and keep them out of the end zone here.
But you look at what Snowflake did to ALA West Foothills defensively. It just smothered them.
every defensive look or offensive look there, as that is Assam going on the carry. They just couldn't move the ball. Bradshaw Mountain settling for an awful lot of field goals. This Lobo D has been perhaps a little bit ahead of schedule.
Yeah, Coach Brogan mentioned earlier, I can't remember if we were on the air or not, but it's been a pleasant surprise. And Snowflake had a lot to replace off from that defense that they lost to graduation last year, but these kids have stepped up, and the defense is looking solid.
Handoff goes to Assam as he's tripped up at the line of scrimmage by a couple of Lobos.
It's like 24 and 72. 72's Lane LeChaminade. Not sure on 24. I don't have a roster in front of me.
Yeah, it's so good to have Coach knowing these.
That's Cannon Smith.
JV players'
Cannon,
names.
all right. Cannon Smith. I should have known that. That's a Smith number.
Cartwright, after a low snap, gets stopped initially, but it looks like the push is going to have him in the end zone. A Comfort Fit Denture touchdown from 1 out.
Yeah, it looked like they had him stopped there for a half second, but they got a little extra push behind him and got him into the end zone.
And that, again, is a tribute to having so many of the younger guys out there putting up the fight against what is still an awful lot of the number one for Catalina Foothills. That touchdown makes it 45-13 with Leary out. No, they're going to fake it, or was that another bad snap? But regardless, it's going to be a run to the far side by Mendola before he gets tracked down. And that makes it 45-13 with 4.5 to go. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
For years, he's battled the toughest opponent of his life.
He's down.
But today, with Dr. Arnaud and Comfort Fit Dentures, the fight changes. With Comfort Fit Dentures and Sholo, you can taste the victory. With free exams and x-rays, an in-house lab, and payment plans starting at just $110 a month, Comfort Fit makes it easy to claim victory. Call today for your free exam and x-rays.
Sun and Sunnyside.
4:30 to go, 45-13. So we're talking off air, trying to figure out, Coach Sullivan, you said that there's more teams in the 4A conference than any other.
I believe that's right. I think 4A, 3A and 4A probably the two biggest conferences. 5A is probably around 40 teams. 6A is around 20, I believe, in the 6A.
As this is a short kick taken by one of the up men, sent to the 35. So I got a crazy idea, and I know it seems like we've already kind of had a little fun at the AIA's expense about the whole uniforms thing, but you got so many charter schools in Arizona. You got quite a few private schools. You got urban schools. You got a vast rural area in Arizona with all these 3A and 4A teams that are playing for just 2 combined state championships. Why don't you give everybody a little bit extra opportunity here? Have like an urban and a rural, or a public and a charter/private, or something like that.
I know I haven't taken the time to look it up tonight. We brought it up. Coach Brogan mentioned the 16-team field. I think that they've actually expanded that to 24 this year. I think the top 8 will get a bye the first round, and I think they'll take 24 teams for the 4A playoffs. I think 3A might be the same way. I'm not sure about 5A. 6A essentially is that way because they have the open division too. So.
And is that why we're getting the season finished in October this year? It feels like it's moved up a week.
Yes.
Instead of November 7th or
the
first weekend.
So if the Lobos are a top 8 team in the final rankings.
Bryant's back and interfered with. And a little bit slow getting up. I got to go ahead as I'm smirking over here. For so long we've been told that the massive Division I college football programs can't play an extra 4 games. And these small conference high schools in Arizona that are going to ask a team to potentially play 5 games to win a state championship?
Well, no, the top 8 would have a bye in the first round, and so it would be numbers 9 through 24 that play.
So they would still play 4.
And then,
Okay.
no, so it'll still be 4 games.
Yeah, and it is a 5-week tournament here. I'm just kind of looking through the tournament breakdown.
That's Cannon. No, that's not Cannon Smith.
Talmadge
Lucas, who's going from straightaway and then bouncing out to the right side.
And I'm assuming with the 2014 tournament, then they'll add conference champions. They'll guarantee spots for that. That's typically what they do. But football is kind of its own animal, though, because they're so worried about the competitive balance that they're moving teams up and down, and so you get a lot of teams that are, we play 3A in all the other sports. Catalina Foothills, they were 5A. They might be 4A now. So you got football teams are kind of all over the place. So I think they've kind of done a little bit of that to themselves as far as the imbalance in the conference sizes. But
Bryant now catches this one, swung outside, still on his feet as he gets over to the 30. Trying to go with the straight arm, the young man.
And I think if I remember right, it all kind of came to a head about 5 years ago. I think at every level, 60 or 70% of all the playoff games were running clocks.
Yeah.
And it was just a bad look across the board. And so where I don't think I like the idea, I certainly understand why it's in place. You just don't want to have a state tournament where they're uncompetitive games.
From the pistol, as that was going to be faked and kept by Greer. 1 minute and 11 seconds to go.
But you look at Snowflake, if they're still playing at the 3A for the last 5 years.
There might have been a few more trophies in that trophy case over across the street.
Well, I mean, what we looked at last year, and I can't remember, Arizona College Prep's enrollment was...
Oh, they were probably around 3,000 by the time we played them last year.
To have them in the 4A conference was kind of like, huh. And they played like they had quite a few people to choose from.
That's a school that grew quite a bit over the past few years.
So as the Lobos try to take a knee, Falcons are kind of rushing at the center, and there's an unsportsmanlike.
There's a penalty when the score is this lopsided. If it's close, then they're not protected in that situation. If it's under, I believe a 7-point lead or less, but when they are this far ahead, then they should be protected.
Greer going back under center. Looks like he's again going to take a knee, this time permitted to do so. 45-13. Lobos look as if that's going to be the final score, as the most points that they've given up was that opening week at Coconino, which that was a tough one. Coconino had gone to the playoffs, I believe won a game last year, and Lobos were trying to get a few players accustomed to some loftier roles and responsibilities, and since the first half of that game, I think they only allowed 1 touchdown in the second half against Coconino, and since then it's just been all Snowflake D all the time.
Yep, feeling awfully similar to last year. Thought we'd have a little different look, right, with the team and all that, but still feels a little defensive first and try to run the football and all of that good stuff that comes with Snowflake football.
45-13 is the final. We'll start talking about it after this. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk106.7.com.
Want the best deal on your new car, truck, van, or SUV? Go to Sholo Ford. Sholo Ford has the best deals. Not only does Sholo Ford sell the #1 truck in America, Guy Hatch guarantees you won't find a better deal on that truck anywhere else. Sholo Ford sells the best at the best price. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at SholoFord.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
Welcome to Horn Auto Center. I'm Rochelle, and we are the Chevy GMC Cadillac store that saves you more. The 2026 vehicles are here. Come check out our great deals on new Chevy, GMC, and Cadillac. We have tons of Chevy Trax and Chevy Trailblazers and lots of pretty colors. $2,500 off makes them all priced under $30,000. Come in and see us. We are Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more.
45-13, the Lobos come away victorious as they continue their patriotic game as they're lowering the flag. We have not yet been able to get the performance for the national anthem on yet. And we talked a little bit about this the first week and just how when I first started coming up here after I was hired out of college to be the voice of the Round Valley Elk, everything was Blue Ridge, Blue Ridge, Blue Ridge. You know, they just not just the football center, but there was just so much of the passion with the high school. It seems like everything kind of was the epicenter out of Blue Ridge and just expanded outward. And I mentioned this on the air where one of the English teachers that I worked with was also the coach of the speech and debate team and mentioned how he thought that one of the things that they kind of had going for them as they had a lot of success was they had all that Blue Ridge confidence. But it sure feels like everything has kind of shifted here towards Snowflake as you have so many talented kids here. As you just I didn't catch the name of the young fella on the trumpet. The national anthem is always a spectacle in itself. We get the band going out there, and this huge crowd that comes out every week to watch it all. It's the way it was in Lakeside 20 years ago is just now Snowflake. I don't know what to attribute that to, but it sure is interesting to observe.
Well, I think it's just been an organic, change. I think some things that started here in Snowflake and certainly having competitive sports teams helps with that. But you're right. With the band, our music programs, all our other sports teams, just having so much success, and you gotta give credit. And like we mentioned, the Blue Ridge community was very strong at that time. You witnessed that, and the community here, outside of the school system too. There's so much community support. We have such great business sponsorships that are helping with our programs too, and then there's the level of work that the kids are putting in and outside of school, and we have a new weight room over here across the street but that's where champions are built, and with Coach Brogan's team success, I saw his girls in the weight room often enough working too, and our boys and all the other programs that are having success. And, you know, Jacob Leduc being a 100-meter champion, he doesn't look like your typical 100-meter champion. He's at least not at the Division IV level, but he's you know, there's just a lot of success that's being built, and it's on the backs of a lot of hard work, but it's been a fun ride, and we just want to keep that going.
Oh yeah, it's so much fun to be part of, even from this sort of distant seat. As we called the 2 games to start the year at Blue Ridge and Round Valley. The Yellow Jackets having a hard time trying to get a crowd that rivaled where it was when Coach Morrow was out. And Round Valley, of course, I mean, they love the elk out there. So you're going to get a good one that's going to come out there. But even those big Round Valley crowds in the Dome, I don't know if they're able to match the numbers here that come out to watch the Lobos, who compete at the 4A level and are doing so again. And we finished the ball game talking about how it's happening on the defensive end. We started the ball game talking about how it was going to be an interesting challenge, looking at this team that looked as if it was even more balanced than the one that seemed to give them a little bit of a hard time last week against Bradshaw Mountain. But it seems as if they continue to really elevate each week with the different styles that they're thrown up against and the different athletes that they're thrown up against. They've been able to meet each of those challenges. What do you think the ceiling is for this defensive unit?
Boy, it doesn't. You know, we came into the season thinking there may be some weaknesses in the defensive line. You know, losing Cody Flake and Bentley off of that, and as well as others. I mean, that whole line was competitive, and we thought maybe they'd struggle with some bigger teams and things like that. But they've held their own all year in that, and I don't think there's anything that they can't do. I think they're really well coached. I think their game plans are executed really well, and I think their game plans are on point. And I think when you got buy-in from the kids, you got good preparation from the coaches, you can accomplish anything that you need to or want to with that.
So we just saw Ryder Williams announced as getting the wood.
In the wood.
He's not on my roster.
He wearing number 20?
Yes.
I think that's
kickoff.
the one that we weren't able to see.
Okay.
And that's probably that hit on the kickoff
there we
that
go.
we were having a hard time identifying.
Well, if we have Coach Reddick come up, we can ask him about that further. As we had a couple of offensive players that we were considering for our version of that. Now let's talk about the offense a little bit. How big was it for Green to get back and having big numbers? We got him just shy of 100 yards, though he took most of the second half off after the struggles, not necessarily that Green had, but the offensive line had. When you combine the two, what do you see going forward after the tough one at Bradshaw Mountain?
Well, you know, as Brenner Green goes, so does this offense. It's gonna start with him. I do still think that this is one of the most talented across-the-board receiving corps that we've ever seen in Snowflake Lobo uniform, and I think that's going to become key. I think that would have been a big help last week if they were able, and actually that their success and winning that game was based on the passing game. You know, their little play at the end with going to Brenner was a little swing pass to him. The Coulter Willis little slant pass that was their first touchdown, and if they hadn't had that success throwing the ball, then they wouldn't have come away with the win last week. But the Lobos, and they're very capable of doing this. They're going to have to develop that passing game enough to be able to keep that field spread and keep defenses honest and not able to key on and shut down Brenner like they did last week. As long as they're able to do that, I think they're gonna be pretty tough for any team to be able to defend and stop.
Do you look at this like a formula? They need to establish a certain sort of ratio or balance, or they're developing enough skill either running the ball or throwing the ball that it's just going to depend upon the matchup?
I was just thinking, you got two math teachers here, and so we will start out a season and say that we want X percentage of our shots to come in transition and X percentage of our shots to come from the three-point line, and maybe you get over-analytical from time to time as a math teacher. But I would think that would come game to game, and at some point, though, in every game, though, you got to learn how you're going to have to run the football in tough games in at the end of those games. And I thought last week the passing game kind of got him through, but Brenner had 2 big runs in that fourth quarter that kind of helped as well. So I don't know if you go into anything with a plan. I think maybe you scatter it out a little bit, and maybe you lean one way or the other coming into a game, and then you just kind of adjust as you go through to what's been working, who's executing, things like that.
We just had a long shot of Ziggy Olberg on our screen as he's playing his 4th game as both a high school student and a varsity level. First time we've called his name as often as we did. What kind of fear should that cause the rest of Snowflake's schedule? That now he's freshman, giant, huge, fast, and starting to really make things happen to get the quarterbacks.
Ziggy's going to be a presence to be dealt with for quite a few years here. That's an exciting part of the early development of this season to see him, and especially tonight. He took a big step forward tonight and figured something out with his matchup on that side of the line and started putting some pressure on that quarterback, which made it difficult for them to get the passing game on track for Catalina Foothills. So, Ziggy's very good, but that defensive line has a lot of depth. Those names that I called out earlier, Isaac Woodside's one that wasn't on the field right at that moment, but there's just a lot of depth in there with that defensive line. So look for them to keep stepping up, and the old saying is that defense wins championships, and that's 100% true. With a solid defense, you only have to score once, and then you're gonna be good. If you can shut the other team out or keep them from scoring. So the Lobos are going to have to keep developing that. But again, focus on the offensive side. They obviously saw some deficits in the kicking game tonight too. Some things that they'll need to work on. But I like where they're at, and coming into a good matchup next week where they'll be tested by Marcos Deniza a little bit next week.
We'll continue our conversation after this. It's Shola Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
What would you buy with a $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse? You could load up for hunting, fishing, and camping. Grab a Traeger or a Pit Boss smoker, high-end Vortex optics, or top-notch boots and outdoor gear. When you get your insured windshield replaced by Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, you get your choice of 2 dinners at Los Corrales and 2 movie tickets, or a $100 window tint certificate. You're entered to win the $3,000 shopping spree at Sportsman's Warehouse. Call Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint today.
Northland Pioneer College is cheering for you on and off the field. Secure a win by enrolling in college courses at NPC. Earn college credits in high school, learn a new skill or trade. Complete classes that will transfer to any Arizona university. NPC has 3 new bachelor's degree programs and over 100 associate degrees, certificates, and areas of study to choose from. The playing field for your future is wide open. Take a shot and score big by enrolling in classes at NPC. Northland Pioneer College. Your journey starts here.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
45-13, Lobos now 4-0, as their 2 home games have been far more dominant than the 2 road games. We were just talking off air as they get ready to go to Marcos Deniza and then Poston Butte. What needs to happen from your vantage points to make sure that they don't wind up having to play from behind? Not necessarily having to play from behind last week against Bradshaw Mountain, but they did not have the same sort of a whiplash start that they've had here at home against ALA West Foothills. And, oh boy, Catalina Foothills were just distracted by an announced final at the AIA's website, Sunnyside 14, Micah Mountain 10. Now Micah Mountain drops 2 in a row.
Yeah, seem to be struggling a little bit these last couple of weeks. And again, I don't know a lot about Sunnyside football. I haven't known them to be a power down there in Tucson in the football category. But little bit more surprising, that brings up another challenge for this Lobo coaching staff, which we've been singing the praises of some of these players. This is one of the best coaching staffs you're going to find anywhere. They're going to be watching and breaking down film tomorrow individually, and then Sunday night they'll get together and put together a plan for next week for Marcos Deniza, and they'll have this team dialed in. The challenge, I never liked being ranked number one. That was never, not during the season. I want to be ranked number one at the end of the season. That's when it counts. And you don't want guys to start buying into all the talk and that number one ranking. You want them to stay humble and hungry, and that becomes more of a challenge. The more solid that number one ranking becomes, it just puts that target a little bit bigger on their back. So
I was talking with Principal Brimhall this morning about it at the volleyball tournament, that I much prefer to be the hunter than the hunted, and I think that speaks to that, right? You'd rather be a little hungry and maybe catching some teams by surprise. And it's a much more comfortable position to be in as a coach.
Well, it's a lot different because of the very few opportunities that a football team gets compared to a basketball team. You could be number one in basketball, suffer a loss. All right, now I got your attention, but you lose that game in football, and that might derail an awful lot, even if you go and get a win against a shockingly bad team, as had happened last year.
Yeah, I think we were talking, it's been 20-plus years since there's been an undefeated high school basketball champion, at least at the 3A levels. Whereas football, I would guess it might be almost the exact opposite, that you probably run into one every second or third year at a minimum.
A lot more common that way. Yeah. Yep. Well, regardless, Marcos is definitely, it wouldn't matter if Snowflake was ranked number 1 or 10 or 20. Marcos we've been playing them for a few years now too, and they're definitely going to be gunning for a win against the Lobos next week.
Big dudes, and that's kind of been something, especially on the road here, that the Lobos have struggled with a bit. Saw that against Bradshaw. Saw that a little bit last year. What do you think the Lobos need to do to make sure they're ready for that?
Well, they're going to have to come in that same mindset. ALA West Foothills, and even tonight, this Catalina Foothills line was bigger than our Lobo line, but they're going to have to come in well prepared and ready to execute, and then just maintain that focus. They got to play well for 4 quarters, and again, we've seen that that's more of a challenge when they have a long road trip to overcome, to be able to do that too. So this will be a good test for them next week to roll into Marcos Deniza down there in Tempe and get off the bus and show that they can play well after a long road trip.
In the heat.
And a little bit of heat.
All right, the Horn Auto Center drive of the game. Horn Auto Center, the Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. Lobos were able to use some very, very short fields. But they did go on a long drive to start it, and it was punctuated with a green 17-yard touchdown. I believe that was their second series. Is that the drive of the game, or how do you choose to look at this?
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, that is good. Like you said, everything else felt like it was 10 yards, 12 yards, 25 yards. They had so many short fields tonight but I think that kind of established kind of the way the game was going to play out. They were able to get green on a couple of runs on that drive, and I thought their offensive line executed really well on that and kind of set the tone for how things were going to play out.
Green, the 17-yard run, punctuating what was, I believe, a 65-yard drive to get the Lobos on the board and get the extra point, which was not a gimme during this one. So that's the Horn Auto Center drive of the game. Chevy, Cadillac, and GMC store that saves you more. That's Horn Auto Center. Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside is hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass. Call 1-888-GLASSMAN. I already forgot who the team gave the Deemer's Glass.
It was Ryder Williams,
Ryder
number
Williams.
20, for that tackle on the kickoff, the hit on the kickoff. The other one that I would consider was we were talking about the offensive player. That's Brenner.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football.
just a mismatch there, and Brenner made him pay a little bit on the run there in the second half, or might have been late first half.
What might have led to Williams getting it is because we talked about that one with Green, but you also had one with LeDuc where he almost took a tackler into the end zone after going more than 30 yards. Christian Smith, who's not exactly a big dude, he was also doing it. As all these Lobos, and again, I made the kind of tongue-in-cheek remark, but you get teams from urban areas coming up to Snowflake, Arizona. I was once talking to a softball player down there who was involved with a club and asked if she was familiar with any of Snowflake's players, and she said, quote, "Snowflake, that little place?" That's kind of the perspective. And then you come up here and you got these guys that are running by you and running over you. I think that it's kind of an education. So I guess, we'll give it to Williams also. Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. My point is the Lobos had an awful lot of opportunity to break some glass.
Yeah, and what you see too, I think, is rarely do you see a Snowflake kid rolling around on the ground and getting nicked up or dinged up. They're pretty tough kids. They get right back up, get back in the game, and they just have accepted the physicality and almost embrace it.
That's the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, Deemer's Glass in Lakeside and has hands down the best place to call when you need quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass, call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Now, the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. Get your windshield replaced by the experts. Who you guys got?
I thought Ziggy played really well on the defensive side with Hayden Nichols. It felt like they were kind of a wrecking crew together, the two of them. Every pass play, Ziggy just was wreaking havoc, and every run play felt like Hayden was running down. So I think you couldn't go wrong on that end of it. And then Brenner Green, I thought, played really well.
Yeah, I think it might be a good night to go defense with that, and I agree with you. I think Ziggy took some big steps forward tonight, and the rest of that defensive line. I think they did a solid job and allowed those linebackers. I don't know what the total is, but I would bet Hayden was probably up around 15 tackles. I'll bet tonight, and a lot of those solos on that. So I think that would probably be your best candidate for your player of the game.
Olberg, we talked about how we called his name more today, and so you're seeing him now chasing the quarterback and forcing him into a little bit of a rush throw. Never really was able to get comfortable after that first completion, and a lot of that because of the pressure that Olberg was headlining from that front. But also want to give a shout-out as we consider Green as being potentially the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint player of the game. He had big holes to run through. So the offensive line needing to bounce back after having a tough day against Bradshaw Mountain. Kind of also think about them as a unit, potentially being the players of the game, because I don't, you always get the joke when you're playing on grass, you don't need to wash Green's uniform. He was able to go through so much stuff untouched, and that was a big tribute to the offensive line.
Yeah, they stepped up tonight, did a great job, and they're going to have to continue to grow and develop, and Marcos will be a good test for him next week. Marcos is we talk about that physicality, and we know that they're a program, they're well coached, and they're a program that is going to play hard. So shout out to that offensive line. Their leader wasn't here tonight. Coach Rickardson was not with them tonight, but he'll be proud of their performance and what they were able to do for Brenner tonight blocking.
That the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint players of the game, get your windshield replaced by the experts. This is the last call here at Snowflake High School. The Lobos win 45-13. Now 4-0, be on the road the next 2 weeks, and we'll have them both for you. Marcos, Deniza, and then Poston Butte. As we thank our sponsors, Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce, Ace Hardware in Pine Top, Overgarden, Sholo, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports Store, Northland Pioneer College, Horn Auto Center, Summit Regional Medical Center, Comfort Fit Dentures, and Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint. For everyone involved, I'm Derek Palmer. We hope that you will have a great weekend, and thank you for starting with us. Until then, we'll see you next week.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Deemer's Glass, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass and Tint, Summit Regional Medical Center, Horn Auto Center, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, and Comfort Fit Dentures. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 1067 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without the expressed written consent of iTalk 1067 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to italk1067.com.